Om Jnanatimirandasya Gyananjana Shalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha Gurave Gaura Chandraya Radhikaya Stadalaye Krishnaya Krishna Bhaktaya Tadbhaktaya Namo Namaha Narayanam Gurum Vande Saranyam Bhakta Bandhavam Gauramanu Purnam Radhadasyam Pradayakam Rupanugacharya Varyam Rupamanjari Preshtakam Patita Pavana Bandhavam Yugacharya Narayanam Vanchakalpatarubhyachcha Kripa Sindhubhya Evacha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha Namo Mahavadanyaya Krishna Prema Pradayate Krishnaya Krishna Chaitanya Namne Gaura Tuise Namaha Shama Sundara Shikanda Shekara Ismirahasara Murali Manohara Radhikara Sikamam Kripanide Swapriya Charana Kinkarim Kuru Tapta Kanchana Gourangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vrishabhanu Sute Devi Pranamami Hari Priye Vrindai Tulasi Devyai Priyai Keshava Sacha Krishna Bhakti Prade Devi Satyavatyai Namo Namaha Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shri Vasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ramo 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 Hare Hare. So first of all, I begin offering my most humble obeisances to the dust of the lotus feet of Paramaradatama Shri Guru Pada Padma, Nitya Lila Pravishta Om Vishnu Pada Paramahamsa Paribrajacharya Ashtotara Sata Srimad Srila Bhakti Vedanta Narayana Goswami Maharaj Srila Gurudev, and to my most worshipable Shikshan Sannyasa Guru, Nitya Lila Pravishta Om Vishnu Pada Paramahamsa Paribrajacharya Ashtotara Sata Srimad Srila Bhakti Vijnana Bharati Goswami Maharaj, and to all Shri Rupanu Gauriya Guru Varga, to all Tridandi Sannyasis, Brahmacharis, Vaishnavas, Vaishnavis, to all the assembled devotees here, my most respectful obeisances. So by the causeless mercy of Srila Gurudeva and all Mahabhagavatas Acharyas, we are able to assemble here one more time. So we continue reading from Sri Gopi-gita, the Vakyaya, Buddha Manogaya Pushkarekshana, Vidikharirima Viramuhyatir, Adharasiduna Pyaya Swasyana. O lotus-eyed one, we are bewildered by your sweet voice, replete with enchanting words that capture even the minds of scholars who are clever and expert in rasa. O hero, we gopis are your maidservants who carry out your every order. Please restore our lives with the divine ambrosia of your lips. So here gopis are requesting Krishna to give them the nectar of his lips. So commentary of Srila Gurudeva, Bhava Prakashika Vritti. With the words Madhuraya Gira, the gopis tell Krishna, whatever you utter is exceedingly sweet. By speaking the words Valgu Vakyaya, they tell him, your words are enchanting. Vidhi means order, and Vidikari means obedient maidservant. By these words, the gopis say, we will do everything you tell us to do. Muhyati has the same root as the word moha, meaning illusion. As soon as a person is in illusion, he cannot distinguish between good and bad. And at times, he cannot even function properly. For example, Arjuna became bewildered on the battlefield of Kurukshetra when his chariot was situated between the two armies. What should I do, he wondered, and what should I not do? Muhyati implies transcendental bewilderment, which, in its 10th stage, Dashama Dasha, is like that. So Gurudeva puts a footnote for this Dashama Dasha. He says, Purvarag is fully mature when it occurs in those possessed of Samartha Rati. On this level of Purvarag, the 10 dashas or stages, beginning from intense longing up to the desire for death, can manifest. Since this Purvarag is fully matured, the states that manifest in it are also fully matured. This is from Jaiva Dharma, chapter 37. The 10 states are intense longing, anxiety, sleeplessness, emaciation, inertia, impatience, illness, madness, delusion, and longing for death. This is from Ujjwala Nilumani, Purvarag, Division 9. So, all these stages are found in Purvarag. What is Purvarag? Purvarag means the physical separation. When there is physical separation, they are far away from each other and they want to be together, but they cannot. And there is no internal meeting at that time, okay? There is only separation. There is only desire for meeting. So this is another state. In that state, we find these 10 divisions, or we can also say 10 states, but in Purvarag, we find these 10 divisions of feelings. And the 10th one is desire for death. Means there is no hope. So it's better if we give up our life. We cannot meet with Krishna. So in this way, when we contemplate the two phrases Madhuraya Gira, your sweet words, and Adhara Siduna, the nectar of your lips, we may ask, do they share the same meaning, or is there a difference between them? The gopis, spellbound by Krishna's sweet words, now thirst for the nectar of his lips. But Krishna's words are also like nectar. What do the gopis really want? Are they begging Krishna to speak further? So Srila Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur says that only one who receives the mercy of the gopis can understand their thoughts and words. Thus, one can enter deeply into these topics if one has the association of a Rasika Vaishnava who has realized the gopis' hearts. Srila Jiva Goswami explains that the gopis have drunk the nectar of Krishna's words, which are sweet, melodic, and brimming with literary ornaments, alankar, and exquisite imports. They tell Krishna, our complete bewilderment is a serious malady which only you can treat. You are the only doctor to cure us of our critical condition, and the ambrosia of your lotus lips is the only medicine. With these words, they imply that their bewilderment is so sweet that they want to experience it further. So many people ask sometimes that why is there are so many type of mundane feelings in Krishna's behavior, Radharani's behavior? How is that? So the point is that when we see it with the perverted reflection of the original type of feeling, in this material world, they appear to be like bad, mundane. But in their original state of purity, all feelings, all situations, they are always good, always positive. Even the desire for death, even envy, even anger, and so many things like. So, and for us from this mundane perspective, it's very difficult to actually grasp what is going on there, because all we see are like bad feelings or bad things. But in fact, We shouldn't think like so. We should at least consider that they are not bad. Although we have no realization yet, like intellectually, we conceive and we do not allow ourselves to judge and consider it to be like mundane or bad. Okay? So, in the previous verse, the gopis prayed to Krishna to place his lotus feet on their breasts as an ointment. They wanted this ointment to treat the bewitched and feverish condition that had resulted from their tasting the nectar of Krishna's words. But then their mere remembrance of the treatment rapidly increased their disease. Now they pray, ointment which is applied externally will not do. We need to drink the remedy that will cure us. If you do not give us the nectar of your lips, we will surely die. Krishna's Adharamrita. And they anticipate that Krishna would then ask, why will you die? And thus they begin their reply. We recall your gentle words full of sweetness and various intentions, they say. The speaker's tone of voice reveals his intended meaning. For example, the words, you are not a thief, carries quite a clear meaning. But those same words, spoken with a tone of sarcasm, can actually mean you are certainly a thief. In this way, the spoken word may have several different meanings. So this is a very important point. Not only what is being told, but how it's being told. I can say, you are not a thief. It means I know that you are not a thief. But I can say, yes, you are not a thief. It means that I know you are a thief. I am speaking with sarcasm. So it depends on your intention, on your tone, on your way of speaking that. So in the same way, gopis, they understand Krishna by that, and also Krishna understands gopis by that. So Srimad Bhagavatam and other transcendental literatures were written in a particular tone and with the intention of conveying a particular meaning. And now this is a very, very important point. I beg you to pay a little attention for that, because it's very, very important, because it implies that we shouldn't only read Shastra, but especially hear Shastra. Reading is very limited, but hearing is not, because these tones, these moods in the speech, it will only come if a living sadhu is speaking to us. Otherwise, how can we understand in which way things are being told? Right? The reading is very limited. So therefore, we need the living sadhu to speak this Harikatha. In this way, along the history, our sadhu, our acharyas, they are always speaking. Would be very simple for Krishna just to manifest a book. Okay, here's the book, just follow it, and that's it. No. He's always manifesting through someone who is speaking. And even before that was coming to written form, it was only spoken, all the time, only spoken. So this is very, very important, very important. So let's continue here. So Srimad Bhagavatam and other transcendental literatures were written in a particular tone and with the intention of conveying a particular meaning. But this is very, very important. That meaning can be known only if the author himself explains it or reveals it to us. For example, when Krishna left Vrindavan to reside in Mathura, he sent Uddhav to Vrindavan with a message for the gopis. The words in that message carried so many meanings that it was not possible for Uddhav to discern Krishna's intended meaning. He may have been able to understand it to a certain extent and in a certain way, but there is a vast gulf of difference between his understanding and that of the gopis. So another example of this is the way in which Shri Krishna Chaitanya Mahaprabhu explained the 64 diverse meanings of the Srimad Bhagavatam verse Atmaramaschamunayo nirgrantha api urukrame kurvanti ahaitukin bhaktim itam bhutta guno hari. Bhagavatam 1.7.10. All different varieties of Atmaramas, those who take pleasure in Atma or spirit itself, or the spirit self, especially those established on the path of self-realization, though freed from all kinds of material bondage, desire to render unalloyed devotional service unto the personality of Godhead. This means that the Lord possesses transcendental qualities and therefore can attract everyone, including liberated souls. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu explained this verse to Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya, who, although one of the best, who was one of the best scholars in the world at that time, could only explain it in 9 different ways, speaking in a variety of moods and tones. Mahaprabhu enlightened him with numerous other meanings of the verse. It is because of Krishna's expertise in speaking that the gopis now address him with the words Madhuraya Gira Valgu Vakyaya, which means that his sweet words are filled with various charming and profound meanings. Another instance of his sweet and enchanting speech occurred earlier that same evening, and he had called the gopis by the melody of his flute. Upon hearing his alluring flute song, the gopis immediately abandoned all their household tasks and duties and ran into the forest, in whatever state they were in at that time. When they first arrived, Krishna told them, Swagatam vo mahabhaga priyam king karavanniva vrajasyanam mayam kachit bruttagamanna karanam. Srimad Bhagavatam 10.29.18. O most fortunate ladies, welcome. What may I do to please you? Is everything well in Braj? Please tell me the reason for your coming here. Very cynical, no? So the words Mahabhaga means greatly fortunate. Why did Krishna use these words to describe the gopis? Let us consider what had taken place prior to this. Namely, Shri Krishna's calling the gopis from their homes by his flute song, and what was about to happen, namely Rasa Lila. After Krishna addressed them as greatly fortunate, he told them, Do not delay, O chaste ladies, return to your husbands at once. The duty of a virtuous woman is to serve her husband under all circumstances, regardless of whether his character is good or bad. He may be rich or poor, beautiful or highly qualified, or lame and ugly, but still she must serve him. It is her religious duty, dharma, to do so. Why did Krishna first welcome the gopis when they tell them to go? What was the hidden intention behind his words? So, means here looks like a contradiction, right? At first he says welcome, and then he says, oh, go away. It's not like a normal thing to do, right? You're not welcoming someone if you're not expecting someone to come, especially in that middle of the night in the forest. The first reaction would be like a shock. What are you doing here? So no, but he's expecting them, means he has called them for sure, right? So why did Krishna first welcome the gopis and then tell them to go? What was the hidden intention behind his words? Our understanding of the words Mahabhaga, greatly fortunate, spoken by Krishna to the gopis, depends on our level of realization, and it follows that our explanation will be in accordance with this. Srimad Bhagavatam 10.8.46 also refers to Srimati Jashoda Devi and Nanda Baba as Mahabhaga. Nanda kimakarod brahmam shreya evam mahodayam Jashoda cha Mahabhaga papo yasastanam hari. Having heard of the great fortune of Madi Yashoda, Parikshit Maharaj inquired from Shukadeva Goswami, O learned Brahmana, Madi Yashoda's breast milk was sucked by the Supreme Personality of Godhead. What past auspicious activities did she and Nanda Maharaj perform to achieve such perfection in ecstatic love? Although Krishna is the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Jashoda Devi regularly gave him her breast milk, which he would drink without cessation. Krishna is a helpless baby, Madi Yashoda considered, and quite ignorant in all respects. If I do not support and nourish him, he may die. Because of this sentiment, Madi Yashoda has been called Mahabhaga. What is that? That is Vatsalya Prem. Vatsalya Prem means the feeling of dependence. Means Krishna depends on them. This is the speciality of Vatsalya Prem. Feeling that Krishna depends on them for everything. Just like Sakya-rasa is the feeling of equality, same level. And Madhura-rasa is the complete freedom, where everything can be done without any type of restriction. And all the other rasas can be also expressed also without any restriction. So, why does Krishna address the gopis as Mahabhaga? The gopis are the crest jewel among all the residents of Braja. They satisfy him eternally in every way. No one else can serve him as they do, and he realizes this. As a professor examines his students, Shri Krishna was examining the gopis. However, when this professor heard the responses of his students, in this case Krishna and gopis, he became astonished. He realized that they were more elevated than he was, that he could never reach their level, means level of cleverness, because he thought he would cheat them by answering something, and they cheated him in response to that answer that he gave. So his intention was to test their love, but instead he became dumbfounded and bewildered. The gopis had left their homes and all material considerations for his sake. No one else could do such a thing. He was astounded by this. Therefore, he called them Mahabhaga. Swagatam means su and agatam. Means your arrival is auspicious. So it is generally translated as welcome. In this instance, however, it does not mean welcome. Krishna was questioning the gopis. Is your arrival here due to some auspicious or inauspicious occurrence? Have you come here because of a terrible incident in your house? Or maybe there has been an accident? Has there been a disastrous storm, flood, or fire? Or has Bakasur, Agasur, or any other demon attacked your fathers, mothers, or other relatives? Is this why you have come here weeping and upset? The word Swagatam indirectly refers to Krishna's longing. He and the gopis both longed to perform amorous pastimes with each other, and both desired the other to be the first to speak about it. This was the reason for his ambiguity here, as is the case with worldly lovers. He wanted the gopis to be the first to say, "This is what we want." He was waiting for their hearts to be expressed with their words, but the gopis had the same wish. They felt, Krishna called us here, so he should be the first to speak frankly. So like everyone is shy, both sides are shy. Both sides, after facing each other, start feeling something different from what they felt before, before meeting like that. So it was a type of little shock, for everyone. Although they wanted to be there, still they try to act as if they have not arranged for all these things, and if they happen to meet like accidentally. So as Yashoda always says, no, Krishna is very shy. He's very shy. He can't be straightforward in anything. He's always like hiding himself. So in this way, both sides watched and waited. But the nature of prema is so deep that it cannot be stated openly. If prema is expressed openly by saying, I love you, I cannot live without you, it is extinguished, for it burns in the hearts of both the hero and the heroine like a lamp. If that lamp remains within the home of their heart, it burns without flickering and emits an excellent light. It means go straight up. On the other hand, if it is kept in an open doorway, a breeze is likely to extinguish it. This is also true for a devotee, even one in the stage of practice. In Prema Bhakti Chandrika, Song 9, verse 19, Narottam Das Thakur warns sadhakas on all levels that one should not disclose one's bhajan. Bhakti is like a camphor, in the sense that it evaporates if left in an open place. Although it goes very slow, no? It evaporates slowly, but like almost imperceptibly. But after many days, it's gone. If a devotee openly tells others, I am chanting so many rounds, I love Krishna, I have so much bhakti, his bhakti will at once disappear. If anyone asks a truly advanced sadhaka about his realizations, he will say, oh, I do not have even a trace of prema. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu set the example of this by uttering, Na prema gandho stidarapi me haro. Chaitanya Charitamrita Madhya Lila 2.45. My dear friends, I have not the slightest tinge of love of God within my heart. A true devotee will say, looking into my own heart, I found not a scent of bhakti, not even a scent of sadhana bhakti, not a single holy name I chant is actually the pure name. In Chaitanya Charitamrita, it is said that if a devotee is chanting the holy name, but no tears are coming to his eyes and his heart is not melting, this is due to offenses. Krishna nama kore aparadhira vichar, Krishna bolile aparadhir na hoy vikar. Chaitanya Charitamrita Adilila 8.24. There are offenses to be considered while chanting the Hare Krishna mantra. Therefore, simply by chanting Hare Krishna, one does not become ecstatic. We may complete this verse and consider whether or not we are chanting Shuddha Nam. When Nam is pure, it is one in quality with Nami, the possessor of the name. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu once said, my Gurudev told me, you are ignorant and therefore you are not qualified to read Vedanta. You should just chant Hari Nam. Then told me this verse, Harir Nama, Harir Nama, Harir Nama eva kevalam, Kalo nastieva, nastieva, nastieva gatir anyatha. Chaitanya Charitamrita Adilila 17.21. In this age of Kali, there is no other means for self-realization than chanting the holy name, chanting the holy name, chanting the holy name of Lord Hari. Then he gave me a mantra, the Gopal mantra. Mahaprabhu continued. And he told me, accept this mantra as a non-different from Krishna. It is Krishna himself. Have no doubt about this. Then I began to do as my Gurudev told me. And soon a beautiful young cowherd boy came within my vision. I ran to catch hold of him, but he did he hid himself. I ran towards him again, and I was just about to catch him when all of a sudden he vanished. I fell down and wept bitterly, and when he appeared to me again, I began to laugh. Whenever I chant this mantra, various incidents like this take place, and many transformations appear in my body and heart. This is the standard of chanting real Harinam. A true sadhaka thinks in this way. Although I have been chanting for many years, no spiritual symptoms appear within my heart. I tell myself and others that I am a Vaishnava, but actually I am not. I do everything for my own interest so that others will praise me. Although I have many bad qualities, I do not want anyone to talk about them, and I become furious if anyone points them out and discusses them. When I consider all these facts, I can understand what kind of a devotee I am. So this is the mood taught to us by Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur and Narottam Das Thakur, whose humility is revealed in their writings. They were perfect in self-realization, and yet they judged the level of their bhakti in this way. So Narottam Das Thakur has written a beautiful song which aptly describes this mood, the first and the last verses of which are as follows. This is Gorapahum, Akshep, verse number 1. Gorapahum nabhajiya mainu, prema ratana dhana helaya harainu. Alas, failing to worship Sri Gaura Sundar, I have neglected that most precious treasure of prema and lost it. Then the other verse is the last one, verse number 5. Kenava achaya prana kisuka paiya, narotamadasa keno nagila Maria. Why am I living? What is the standard of my happiness? Narottamdasa says, why did I not die long ago? So in this kirtan, Narottam Das Thakur expresses, in a very soulful mood, a heart-breaking scene. When we sing this kirtan, however, we do not weep, and repentance does not appear in our hearts. This is our problem. In his humility, Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur has written, He Gopinath, Amito Kamira Das. O Gopinath, beloved of the gopis, I am the most faithful servant of lust. I mean the servant of lust, Kamira Das. Has he told an untruth, or has he spoken honestly about his feelings? The answer is that when bhakti comes, these genuine feelings of humility also come. Although immersed in pure devotion, Bhaktivinoda Thakur really feels that there is no bhakti in his heart. Such great devotees compare their own bhakti with the Mahabhava of Srimati Radhika and the gopis, and they think, where is my prema? I have no prema, nothing at all. They feel and act as if they are on the level of needing to practice sadhana bhakti. But in fact, they are spiritually perfect. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu once wrote a commentary on Nyaya, the theory of logic. At that time, Raghunandan had also written a commentary, which he deemed superior to all others. One day, as he and Chaitanya Mahaprabhu were traveling together in a boat, they discussed the commentaries they had each written. Raghunandan was very curious to see Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's commentary and asked to look at it. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu gave it to him to read, and as he read, Raghunandan began to weep. Mahaprabhu asked why he was weeping. Raghunandan replied that no one would appreciate his own commentary after reading the commentary of Mahaprabhu. Raghunandan was disheartened because he had considered himself to be a great logician. Mahaprabhu had not come to this world to show everyone his erudition as a great logician. Furthermore, he did not want to disturb Raghunandan. For these reasons, he threw his own commentary into the Ganga. He did not consider his own commentary to be so important, Yet Raghunandan understood. His commentary is far better than mine. This is like a very common say. Sometimes it's better to keep a relationship than to have reason, than to be right. Mahaprabhu, he didn't want to be right or to defeat anyone. He just wanted to keep the relationship. So similarly, if we compare ourselves with any pure devotee, we will understand our lowly position. Although we may be chanting and performing many aspects of Krishna bhajan, when we can truthfully compare ourselves with Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur, Srila Krishnadas Kaviraja Goswami, Raghunatha Das Goswami, Srila Rupa Goswami, and with all our Gurudev, and with our own Gurudev, we will see that we do not have even a particle of bhakti. When we honestly compare ourselves with elevated devotees, we will be humbled. As long as we do not do so, we will think, I am such a good devotee. I am preaching so well. In fact, I am preaching more than my Gurudev. Actually, only a Madhyamadikari can think, I am worthless in comparison to these elevated devotees. The Kanishadikari, third-class devotee, cannot think in this way, nor can he even imagine such contemplation. The Uttamadikari considers, everyone in this world is greater devotee than I. Everyone is my Guru. If the Uttamadikari gives initiation and makes disciples, it is understood that he is playing the role of a Madhyamadikari and is seeing everyone from the Madhyama perspective. In conclusion, a genuine devotee will not reveal his bhajan to others. The pure devotee will naturally not do this, and it is essential for the sadhaka not to do it as well. If someone tells others, I love Krishna, my bhajan is so strong, his bhakti will evaporate, just as camphor evaporates in an open door. It means that he has already very less, and he keeps telling. It means he will end up with nothing. Because someone who speaks like that means he does not have so much, a little bit. So very quick, he'll be zero again, have to start from ground. So we have been discussing this topic because of this, its relevance to the theme of Shri Krishna's exchanges with the gopis. The indirect imports in their loving words. If the words, I love you, I cannot live without you, are spoken, the beauty of that sentiment vanishes. Such love is third-class love. Even so, Shri Krishna, the Nayaka, wants to be the first to hear the gopis. The Nayikas speak these charming words, which are like an elixir. And the gopis also want to be the first to drink that nectar. The moods of both the Nayaka and the Nayika are very profound. So there is still a lot to go, a lot more to go for this shloka, for this chapter. So I think we can stop here and then we can continue next time. Okay. Hare Krishna.